Hey guys, welcome to TV Movie Mistress, your one-stop shop for all your television and other entertainment. As always, I'm your host Mo, and
And
if you sorry, I want to do it. Sorry, I did say you could. Anyway, sorry, my bad. But folks listening, if you are new, welcome. I have a special voice that you've already heard. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. Please tell the good folks listening who you are, ma'am.
hi, I'm Carly. Ta-da! I don't know.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! No, you're
Sparkles!
so silly. You're so silly. Thank you. Thank
I
you. That was a nice
tried.
intro.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's been a minute. I figured I'd reintroduce you. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Her name is
My name is
Carly.
mm.
That's as much
I
as you
love
guys
it.
get.
That's
Yeah.
it. We're going on tour
So
next month,
look, get ready.
2024.
Five
Oh,
borough cities. No,
5 borough tour, five
not Staten
neighborhood tour.
Island.
That's it.
No, yeah, 5 neighborhood tours. Staten Island, nobody's going to Staten Island.
No,
No,
not there.
nobody
I'm
needs
not.
to go to Staten Island. It could
No,
just.
although I have
I'm
to
still
pass by it so I can get to you.
I'm still confused why it's a borough, but
Aren't we
I'm
all?
sure white shenanigans is the answer. But outside all of that, if you're new, welcome. Get familiar. We are a hoot. Carly and I have been podcasting for years. We have probably been
Years.
podcasting longer than some of you have babies. So tell your babies to
Wow.
respect us.
Wow. Oh, wow.
I know. So
Like I'm flattered, but also I feel, ancient now.
yeah, we are ancient. We're old.
We are. My
We're old.
bones hurt.
It's
So old.
like I went to the chiropractor today and I got like the best adjustment of the year. Like I had a knot. It felt like the size of like I don't know, maybe like a small ball, like smaller than a tennis ball. But
Gosh.
like it hurt so much. But when she was rubbing it out, it hurt, but in like that good way.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Does it hurt?" I'm like, "Yeah," but in a hurt so good way. So just
You're like, ow.
yeah.
Yeah.
You literally. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I'm falling asleep now." You like so we're old because we need to keep the body limber and do our stretches and so
Right.
like we're not in
Keep
constant
warm.
pain. And that's fine. I'm fine. Look, I am enjoying my 30s way more comfortably. I love my 20s. It was fun. I had an amazing time. But as a human, as a person, 30s are way more comfortable.
Absolutely. And I
Like,
believe that the older you get, the better sex is too. So
okay, well, I will keep you updated on that.
oh snap. Keep all of us updated or just me? Either way, I'm involved
What
in both
life do you
stuff.
think I'm living? I mean, absolutely on and off. You'll be the first to know, ma'am.
Awesome.
So now that you guys have found out way too much about us as usual,
As usual.
as usual, to let you, I always again, it's like I'm like, oh, we're recording. This goes
Yeah.
to the world, to like Earth and aliens, maybe. But after a little hiatus, the last show we covered was season 2 of Warrior, which will be coming back hopefully by 2023.
First
If you
quarter,
have
we found out.
first quarter,
First quarter.
yes, that was my hope and guess. We'll see. Knock on wood, officially.
Knock on
But
wood,
if you
yes.
have not listened to us talk about that show, one, go watch Warrior. It's on Stars. Wait, is it HBO Cinemax?
HBO
Is
Max.
I don't even know. It might not be HBO Max in 6 months. Who the fuck knows? But as of now,
But right
yes,
now it
HBO
is.
Max.
Watch it there.
Yes, watch it there. It's an amazing martial arts drama of like love and sex and violence and death and
yes,
I love
and
it. And the women are
racism.
Yes, and the women are amazing. I was going through
Gorgeous.
YouTube the other day, and in the comments, somebody was like, "Oh, look at this duck," and I was like, "I know what duck is," because in Warriors, that's what they would call white people,
White
like
people,
ducks.
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit, so I was being racist," but you wouldn't know that. I
There you
love
go.
it. I love you too.
It teaches us things. It's a fucking great show, and we love it, and we cover it.
Yes, it's amazing.
With so much joy in our hearts.
Like you said, gorgeous woman, amazing,
Gorgeous
well-written woman. Like
the production design, insane.
costuming,
Wardrobe.
just Nothing
Yes.
wrong with that show. Nothing wrong with
Absolutely.
that show.
Absolutely not.
And if there's one thing we do well is pick great shows to talk about,
I
to
agree.
just, you know, stimulate ourselves mentally.
Absolutely.
Which is why we're back, and which is why you especially are back to speak with, I don't know, what's the word? We're here to talk,
Discuss.
guys, about
We're here to talk about
about it.
gay
Yeah,
vampires going through an
yes.
existential crisis. That's our shit.
Oh my
That's our brand.
God, do you know? Like, I want nothing more. Television has peaked for me. Like,
Absolutely. It
they've,
can't get better
like,
right now.
they've put together, I was really watching this today. I was like, they've put together everything I love in like
Okay.
one show, and I'm like, what's left? What's left?
Mo, I am so happy that you just said that because I watched this show and I don't know
Mm,
how I watched it, but I was watching it like 1 week ahead of whatever was on like on TV. Um,
yes.
so I remember watching the first 5 minutes of this show and texting
Mm-hmm.
you, "Hey, are you gonna watch? Are you gonna watch Interview with the Vampire?" Actually, no, I think I saw the trailer for it. And I asked you, and
Ah.
you were like, "Yeah, I don't know." I sent it to you, and then I saw the first 5 minutes, and I was like, "Dude." And then I saw half the episode, and I was like, "No, seriously, you gotta watch the show. I think you would love it." I feel like I kept saying that to you. I think you'll
Yes,
love it.
and you didn't tell me why. And then when I
No,
watched it, I was like, "Oh fuck yeah, I'm covering this. Get
yeah,
out of here! I'm about to write a
absolutely.
fanfic about this shit."
I know
So
it is. It's like so in your wheelhouse, right? So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you now in public.
okay,
I was
okay,
also being a little self-serving while I was texting you that
all
because I was
right.
like, if she likes it, maybe she could cover it on her show, and then maybe she could invite me on the show so we could talk about it.
Oh, I
Because yeah,
absolutely knew you were self-serving, but it's the
okay,
kind of self-serving that serves me as well. So I'm
everybody,
all for
right?
it. Everyone
Absolutely,
wins.
win-win
You know.
situation. I'm
Look,
I'm that's the kind of person I am.
look. Eh,
I
this
fucking
is why
love the
this
show
works.
from moment one, and I knew you'd love it, and I'm so excited to talk about it with you. So thanks
Look,
for
and
inviting
here
me on the
we
show.
are.
It
Well,
worked. My
thank you
plan
for
worked.
putting it on my radar. We all won. We all won. Love wins, y'all. Love wins.
As it
So
always
before,
should be.
as it always should be and will.
And will,
So
yes.
before we jump into episode 3, tell me, Carly, tell me, what did you think about episode 1 and episode 2? What are your
Oh my
thoughts?
gosh. I don't know if I can say anything more than you already said or that Joanne said last week. The show is everything. Like it has everything that you would want in a show. Just taking away the fantasy aspect of it, it has incredible characters and character
Wait.
development.
Vampires are real, so that's not like fantasy.
Oh no, that's not the fantasy I was talking about.
Okay,
Um,
okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
um, No, but it has like these incredible characters that just hook you in because they feel like whole people, and the relationship dynamics and the connections and and that's what I'm here for. And then on top of that, you add the like vampire aspect to it and and the gay drama of it to it. And I'm just kind of like, this show can't be any better than it is. And every episode I've seen the whole season. Full disclosure, seen the whole season, and every episode I am impressed with the episode. I loved it.
What did I? Okay, so did you listen to the podcast episode where I explained to Joanne what a BL drama was,
I
which was
did,
episode 2?
yes.
Did you listen to the
Two
full
episodes.
thing?
I skipped over the Wakanda stuff because I haven't seen the movie yet.
Okay, no, this was during the discussion. Basically,
Yep.
where I was explaining to Joanne what a BL drama was, like a
Yes.
boy love drama. Which, if
Yes.
you listen, if other people out there listening, you see I cover it all the time. So that made my day.
Yeah,
Because
I
I was
know.
so happy I could make a man listen and
Mm,
take in information that is outside of their wheelhouse and that is
amazing.
related to, like, like, again, I am just, the men I have around me as friends, as acquaintances, like, they are chill people of the 21st century. Don't ever fucking tell Juwan, like, I called him a 21st century man, by the way. He's,
I'm sure he's gonna hear it.
I hope not. I'd be like, don't listen to that. But, like, we're lucky because there are a lot of trash ass men out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it in some of the reviews of the show, the homophobia. Again, one of the things I've been watching the most in the past year or two, and again, that's because of the drama,
Mm-hmm.
the LGBTQ side of things, the rom comness of it, which we often don't get in American cinema anymore. Which is why I was basically like, yeah, I'm a lot of shit I watch is Asian dramas that is just
Mm-hmm.
basically Marvel and a rom com put together.
Right.
Why would I not
Right.
watch that? Get out of here, America, catch
Everything you
up.
want. Right.
Everything I want. So with Interview with the Vampire, I feel like I have that again, and I'm so very happy to talk to you about it. So let's say for episode
Absolutely.
1, what was your favorite scene?
I think for episode one, the last scene where Lestat bites Louis, I think the what I really liked about that is the desperation in Louis and the willingness for Lestat, because he's so enthralled with Louis, and so, I hate to say the like in love with him, but he is in many
Yes,
ways
yeah.
enamored with him, and how willing he was to like take his pain away, self-serving, absolutely, but like to take his pain away and and give him his idea of a better life. And and louis and Louis kind of giving into that, and that whole scene, the way it was blocked, the brutality of it when he killed the priest, or the I think it was the priest, right? Like
Something.
all of
A
that, how
man of
bloody
God.
it was. Yes, like how bloody it was. Like I love all that stuff, and I thought it was just like it was a great climax to the whole episode. You know what I mean? Like it was
Yes.
violent and it was dramatic and it was passionate, and so that was
Oh,
my favorite scene.
love it. I love it. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
Um, now, with episode 2, of course, he becomes a vampire, and that's where all
Yes.
the drama kicks off, especially with his
Mhm.
family. What are your thoughts on that?
Episode two was great because it's like, it's the classic. I don't know if it's classic, but like, the old one teaching the baby, this is how it's going to be. And it's,
Yes.
Louis kind of struggling with that idea of it. And episode three, which we're going to talk about, is kind of like the culmination of that. But I liked him, his like I like his dilemma, his conflict within
I
about
hate
being a
his dilemma,
vampire,
by the way, and I
his
can't wait to get
shame.
into it.
But I like
The
his shame,
shame. Yeah.
his shame in it,
Yes.
his like self, that like hatred.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like the parallels with being, a queer person, and sometimes having those feelings about yourself, um and that struggle within that. Those parallels I really liked. So the whole like second episode and dealing with that, and him kind of, you know trying to struggle and cope with that idea of being a vampire, and Lestat being just kind of like, dude, you're a vampire, this is what we do, dude, you know what I mean, like this is what we this is what
Yeah.
we do, like we're gonna be bloody, we're gonna
He
and
has
we're
no
vicious, and you have
patience
to do
like
that.
me. I don't know
Yeah,
how
and I
y'all
think,
stand me. Like he's just like, we're doing this again.
yeah,
Okay.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
I totally agree with you, when you talked about episode two, how Lestat is just kind of like, I've been through this already. Like it's been like, however many eons ago that I've been through this, and he wants to kind of speed things up, and get that partner and that lover in Louis that he thinks that he wants Louis to be, and instead Louis is just kind of like, no, this is hard, and so all that is really great.
Louise
But my
ruining
favorite,
our romance.
he was my favorite scene in episode two was the one with the singer, and Lestat
Mm.
showing the singer how bad he's singing, and the notes, the blood, and the notes that he's doing wrong, and then that whole sequence
Oh my
um
gosh, yes. So
was awesome.
brutal.
It was
Like, because
amazing. It
you
was so brutal,
knew.
and I love it. But
He
again,
plays
I
with
like
his
those
food
like,
so terribly.
yes, I like the heightened, the scenes that have all these like heightened emotions, right? And that was another one in this episode. But also it was just kind of like Lestat being like, pretty much like, this is who you are, and what you're saying isn't like, that's no way of living. That's not a life. pretty
And
much.
Louise like, is it though? And I'm just,
Right. Right. So that, and I don't know, I really like that. And I like the brutality of him, like, and the cruelty of him, like, um, dismantling this poor soprano or this poor alto
oh
singer or
my
whatever.
God. Like
Like,
it's
humiliating
one
him
thing
and
to
then
just
playing with
murder
his.
him.
Yeah,
It's like he had to get his kink in there.
he
He's
did. Yeah.
like, I can't
It's
just
part of it.
kill you. I have to
Yes.
make you feel like I need the last moments of your life on this earth to be one where you feel like such a piece of shit.
Hmm.
And then I will slowly, and I don't even know which one is worse.
It was,
I
it
don't
was,
even know.
it was like beautifully sadistic. Like
Yes.
he's so sadistic, and he enjoys all of that. He enjoyed humiliating the singer, and he enjoyed,
Yes.
and that's what, and I think that's his frustration with Louis, is that he's trying to, like, have Louis just realize that this is what we do and this is part of it, so just like enjoy it because it's beautiful and it's great. So I don't know,
He
that
got a
conflict
church
between
boy.
them.
Like
Yeah, he
he
did
is
it. That
he has
catfish guilt,
never dated a church
that
boy.
catfish guilt,
Like,
yeah, is
uh,
real.
like it
So, yeah.
is. And
And then Louis,
but
and
you're right,
Louis is like
beautifully
losing,
sadistic.
he's beautifully sadistic, and Louis is like losing his humanity, you know, a, a little bit at a time. Like his connections to being human in the world and his community is being like ripped away from him. And, in episode 3, which we'll talk about, is like, the punctuation of that.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And I'm sorry. I feel bad for the listeners because I just feel like I keep saying I love it, I love it, I love it. But
Yeah.
let's expand on that. Let's put to words these feelings of joy that we get from this show.
Yeah.
So episode 3 is titled, I literally have it in front of me. Stop. Okay. Is my very nature that of a devil? And I think the episode
Oof.
titles are so beautifully done as well. Like it just
Yes.
joins with the show's like subject matter
The,
for
the theme.
whatever
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now,
I
of
love
course,
shows.
mhm.
I love shows that do that. The title of the episode is something that a character says in the
Mm,
episode. I love when
yes,
shows do that.
yes.
How to Get Away with Murder used to do that, and
Mm.
I'm such a fan of that for some reason.
Okay. No, I do too. I do too. I think back to a lot of Doctor Who episodes and like they would also do that. It was like,
Yeah,
okay, I like
I
it.
don't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Some
it's
people
something
don't like
weird.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Why?
think Game of Thrones fucked it up. Oh, you're so lucky to have just
I
because it's
no,
like
I've watched the whole thing.
okay. So I think you stopped watching it.
No. I watched the whole thing. I'm just not watching
Oh, just
the.
not hot D. Okay. Why did I? Okay, anyway. But I think it's like how like by the last season they would be like a feast. Like it just wasn't effective. Like if
Mhm.
you're gonna do
Right.
it, have it be effective. You can't just do
Yeah.
it to do it.
Right.
Um, but all of that said, this episode was directed by like IMDb. Get your life together. What the fuck, yo? Directed by Keith Powell. Apologies. And yeah, no, fucking amazing cast. So, like I said, let's jump
Brilliant.
into it. We open to such a God, they're such fantastic actors. But because
Yeah,
it's
they are.
just, it's a couple on a park bench. The simplicity of it, just chilling on this park bench, and one's reading a book and the other's reading his newspaper, but they're bickering.
Mhm.
And Lestat trying to show off, like, oh, look at this thing I'm reading, honey. And then Louise, like, yeah, did you read the part about the slave part yet? And he's like, I didn't get there yet.
Right.
I was like, what's
Um,
happening?
it was no. They're so cute. If they weren't so toxic, I would
Yes.
root for them
Oh
less. Like if they weren't so toxic, I would root for them less. But I am
no,
still rooting for them.
yes,
Those
yeah, no,
crazy kids.
I'm absolute. I need them to be forever, ever after.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but
So,
because
but
again,
no,
like
they
you
were
said, they're
so
so
cute.
toxic.
They
Yes.
are. They are very toxic. They're very toxic. But, but it's so fun to watch.
It
No, but yes,
is.
them sitting at this like park bench, like like an old married couple, getting on each other's nerves. But also, it was a great, that conversation was a great kind of beginning to this moral dilemma that
Oh
Louis
yeah.
has, and or that he's trying to
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like work around. He's trying to find a workaround, a
And
loophole of
he
some
thinks
sort.
Lestat is dumb, and it's like because the way he kind of presents it to Lestat, is like,
Yeah.
don't you think we're better than the regular folks? don't
Yeah.
and Lestat is like, okay, I'm not dumb, but let's see where this is going.
Right. Let me see.
And yeah, exactly. And he kind of like, and Louis like, well, because I guess we that's the theme of the episode is Louis does not want to eat humans.
Yeah, he doesn't want to eat humans, so he's like instead gonna be like, okay, since we have to eat humans, let's just eat bad
Bad
people.
people. And I was like, that
And
is subjective, Louis, which is why
that was
Lestat doesn't care.
right. No, but that was Lestat's whole argument. He's just kind of like, what is bad? Even the people that we praise that like deserve to be praised also have done really
Yeah.
terrible things. And not only that,
Like,
but he said he had this great line that's you whisper you whisper in their ear their God isn't listening, and they do despicable things or something like that.
mm,
So like Lestat is just kind of like, it doesn't really like
it doesn't
bad
matter.
people are people, it doesn't matter, right?
Like an
And you
evil
gotta eat
person could have a family at home that is gonna
exactly.
cry because you just killed them, the same as a good person. Now,
Yeah.
don't be murdering nobody is probably the answer.
Right.
But
Right.
if it's oh shit, is my headphones in? No, it's not. Love it. Hopefully my audio. I just realized my headphone jack wasn't plugged all the way in. Hopefully that wasn't too terrible on the listeners. But
Mhm.
yes. So he presents. Oh, now I'm panicking. Okay, anyway, he presents to Lestat, we're better than them. Why don't we try a little something different and, go after bad people instead? So they start walking down the French streets of New Orleans, and, Lestat is already over. He's like, is this guy peeing?
I think
This guy
Lestat
who scams
knows.
people?
Yeah. I think Lestat is just kind of like, he's just kind of like, I'm gonna go along with what you're saying, even though at the end of the day, I know I'm right. You know what I
And
mean?
that's
And
how
that
you
was
know
like
he
his whole
loves
vibe.
him. Because if he
Yes,
did
I
not
love
love
that.
him, I would have left you. I would have left
Yeah,
Louis. I was like, I don't have
long
time for this
time ago.
baby. I'll meet
Yeah.
you at home. But they do eventually find a person, a bad guy, quote unquote, and again, Lestat is so graceful and elegant, and he's got his suit, and there's never blood on him. I feel, or maybe I haven't
Yeah.
noticed because that's how elegant he is. But like
Yeah.
again, like you said, there's also that sadism of his and how brutal he is. That he just like he's like that one, and Louis like yeah, and he's like and he just
Yeah.
runs, and he's
Yeah.
like I've started this fine, I've done this, he's switching, go for it. And I'm just like
I like
this
how
is
he's
not
kind of
really
like,
what Louis wanted.
no,
like
no,
it's what
but and
he
it makes it even
wanted,
worse.
but I feel like you know what it is. Louis would almost prefer to pray over his food before he ate it.
I, I, I
Like that
guess
makes like that would
that
make
makes
it's
it
like
okay. That
yeah,
makes it
because like
better.
he was
Yeah.
still like because he still didn't eat the dude. Like you picked the bad guy,
No. Yeah.
and you
So,
still did
but
you. I'm
and at
sorry.
the
Go
end of the
ahead.
day, it just proved no. At the end of the day, it proved Lestat right. Like he's he's putting all of these, but all of these
Rules and
uh
conditions.
rules and conditions, right, to the killing and the eating, and at the end of the day, he's not like that's not gonna be enough for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though
Yeah.
he chose that guy, he was like, yeah, okay, good. He's like defrauding
Yeah.
people, blah blah blah. Lestat was like, okay, let's kill him, and he still ate and Louis still ate the cat, and you're
So
just
it's
kind
like,
of like,
what's the point?
right,
Like,
what's the
what
point?
is the real reason? And Lestat calls him out on it. Honestly,
Yeah.
like he is like, I knew this is where we were heading. And I was kind of disgusted with Louis. I was like, what are you eating? What are you
he
eating,
was
sir?
he was
Like
eating what is it? Cats, rats,
cat,
like
rats,
any a lot of
dogs.
those
I
little
heard. You
small,
see, they didn't
yeah,
show
yeah,
the dogs because they know how white people feel about dogs.
about
Show
dogs,
any
right?
other animals, but you better not show a black man eating the dog. Forget like the he's a vampire. It's like
Yeah.
you show this man eating like
Mm-hmm.
no. So you notice they didn't show that. Um.
Mm-mm.
So after this pre-dinner snack, they go to like Louis' club that he made Lestat buy for
Dinner
him,
snack.
which I I appreciate Louis getting this man to buy him a club.
Fuck yeah. You
I
if
do.
he's gonna be there, might as well be useful.
Look, he wasn't even like shy with it. He's like, buy me
No.
a club. And I was like,
Yeah.
so I was like, and this is why I say, because, okay, when I was younger, I always used to like not ask people. Like I would, not, in my eyes, it's like, well, if you love someone, like, not like you don't ask them for shit. I don't know. I had
Right.
was really weird with it. But as I've gotten older, it's
Okay.
like, no, people that love you want to spoil you, or they should spoil you and love you
Yeah.
and shower you with gifts and treats and whatever, whatever. If
Yeah.
somebody
And
was to
health.
give you a watch, take that watch, say thank you. You know, it's
Yep.
my, if, like, don't devalue yourself. Like, Louis could have been like, buy me a pub. No, he said, no, I want that fancy ass hotel. And Lestat was like, really though? But he still bought it.
Yes,
So
he did.
everyone listening, you want that hotel, you ask for that hotel. You want them headphones, you ask for that exact brand. You want diamond and not zirconia, you ask for that diamond. Don't it? You ask for what you want. If they say no, then they're gonna start getting bad sex. I don't know what to say. Um,
Who said Interview with the Vampire doesn't teach you lessons?
Look, so many lessons. Be prideful of your value. Um,
Absolutely. And it was such a smart business decision on Louis' part to do that. Yeah, I think so.
it
To get his
was if
own
he
club,
wasn't
like
being
I mean,
cheated.
well, obviously he was going to be cheated no matter what by those
I know.
awful
Yeah.
white politicians.
Yes.
But
Ugh.
like for him to get that club and build it and then invest in other businesses, I just think that regardless of like his ambition and or his like trying to stay connected to his humanity or whatever, like aside just business wise, I was like that's a pretty good idea to build
He's
your
really
wealth when you can.
trying.
Yeah.
Okay, so his club is fabulous. It's popping. We've got
Hmm.
performances on the stage. And the night kind of just gets worse. Because, I don't know, did I miss? Was the guy performing on stage flirting? Like, because Louis Lestat is about to kill this man because they're
Hmm.
him and this guy on stage are like bickering, and it seems like Lestat is like reading his mind
Yeah.
and is about to kill him at one point, and Louis is like, "This is my fucking business. Like, don't." Which, yes, don't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I think
was he? What was happening there?
no, I think Lestat, well, Louis and Lestat are going back and forth about this whole like, being a vampire thing. And when Lestat says the word vampire, Louis doesn't even want to hear it. Don't say that in my place of business and all that. So he's still struggling with all that stuff. And I think I don't know. I think many of us can understand this moment in a relationship when you're having this fight and like if whether you do it or your partner does it, but like you try to like act up, as some people would say. And I think that that's what Lestat was doing in
Yeah.
that moment. I
Oh
think he
no,
was
he
just acting up.
absolutely was.
And
Okay.
he's like, and when he started doing, the same bullshit of like you can't play or like your music sucks or whatever to the pianist, I don't think that he was going to kill him like he did the singer in episode 2, but I
Mm-hmm.
think he was just fucking with Louis to make him think that, because he even said, he was
Gotcha.
like, he said something like, oh, I can also play the fool or whatever. So he's like, I'm just messing around, but he was
Yeah.
still cruel and mean to the piano player that we're supposed to think it's Jelly Roll Morton, who's, a famous jazz pianist from that time. I think that's who we're supposed to think it is.
That's who
Um,
would be the actual person who wrote Wolverine
right,
Blues. Is that the
right. I
intonation?
believe
Okay.
so. Yeah. So, um,
Okay.
but that whole thing was just Lestat acting up, and he was trying to prove or trying to just mess with Louis because he does that a lot.
Oh yeah.
He's,
Oh yeah. I mean, but again, I could understand. I understand. Not like I understand it. Like, yes, this is sort of where the night is going
yeah.
after the rigmarole that Louis has sort of taken Lestat on. It kind of just feels like he has blue balls, honestly. But they
Yeah.
do avoid Lestat, I guess, killing folks, and he just plays music, and they enjoy, whatever's left of the night. Um,
Yeah, I did.
okay, yeah,
Blue balls is. I think blue balls is the right thing, because he's like. It seems like he's bored with this whole like moral conundrum
yeah,
thing that Louis has going on, and Louis is just kind of
yeah.
like, look, I'm not. I can't like I. This
I'm
is
not even a
not
vampire, and I'm done with it. This is
right.
why, like, so, like, I had a friend when I was younger. She was straight vegan, PETA, lovely girl, and everything. And like every guy she would date, like these were like Irish dudes, like Scott, like these were men who ate meat.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
every guy she would meet and like end up in a relationship with, she wouldn't force them. Like she gave them a choice. Not like she gave them a choice, but you know how
Mhm.
you're like, well, I'm your girlfriend.
Right. You gotta
You
eat by
can't
me.
eat me if you're gonna fuck me. And so,
Right.
but again, it's not like anything that's said. It's not like anyone ever sits down on one day and say you can no longer eat. But every guy she is with long term just will no longer eat meat,
Mhm.
and she wouldn't have kept dating because that was a hard line for her. It wasn't for them.
Right. Right. Right.
So it's almost the same with Louis and Lestat. It's Louis still hasn't figured himself out. He's a baby
No.
vampire.
Yeah.
He doesn't even
Yeah.
know if this bullshit. It's like it's his first year in undergrad, and he's like philosophy, history, business. I don't know.
Right.
And like Lestat is in grad school. Like it's a lot of patience is sort of needed on both sides that neither parties really has.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the whole Louis feeling like he's fighting against his nature.
Yeah, and he is in many ways. He is absolutely, and I think because of that, Lestat is just kind of he seems to be someone that is gets bored and needs a stimulation. I think he even says it in this episode. He's like, I need my variety or something like that. Um, so he's gonna go like Louis isn't eating, so he barely has he can barely get it up. I think he says
Energy. And I
energy.
was just
So
like, my
like
God, you
Lestat
are
is like,
fucking
I'm gonna need
up.
to fuck soon, so I'm gonna go do
Look,
that. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not even a vampire, but this entire episode, I was like, Lestat is right. Louis, you are really on some bullshit. I need
Right.
you because
To
it
figure
like
your
before
shit
he
out.
even look because I didn't even think about the whole you have no energy because you're how many fucking rats can you eat? And
Right.
also, what's pretty fucked up? Lestat made a good point. The poor feline population in the goddamn city, sir. Do
You
people
don't
not
feel
love
bad
their
about that?
pets? Yes.
Right.
Yes. Do people not love their pets? Like you don't want to murder a dude, but you're about to eat every fucking animal in the city. Like you're
Right.
destroying a species regardless, motherfucker.
Right. Which
So
goes back to the beginning of the episode. Lestat's whole thing is like people are bad regardless of,
it is what
how
it is.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah, it
So
was
I
it was
get you, Louis,
doozy.
but Lestat is right. I need to get a t-shirt that says that.
I think he's still I
Um,
mean, the thing with Louis is that he's really clinging on to his humanity, like no matter what.
yes.
And the darkness or that the immortal world is pulling at him and it eventually is going to win as we see at the end of this episode, but like he's really trying not to give in to all of the impulses and all of the everything that he's having and he's experiencing, and
Yeah.
he's struggling so hard.
And I
Mm,
get it. Because again, it's like you're still in the city you grew up in. You see your
right.
friends, you see the people you know that like everything is still there. Everyone Lestat knows probably is dead.
Yes, absolutely.
Like
Yeah,
your
unless you're a
humanity gets
vampire.
taken away from you the longer you live. That's just facts. And I
Yeah.
already get bored easily now in my mortal time span. So what the fuck is my like like
Yeah.
the like again, like relationships are compromise. And
Yes.
no one should just go 180 to to their partner and vice versa. Like it's a give and take. But I do want to acknowledge that the world might be like, well, Louis is doing the right thing, but also like let's just give kudos to Lestat also dealing with this bullshit.
Dealing with this bullshit.
Like
I
it's
mean, I
give and
think
take.
yeah, they're both dealing with with bullshit. It's
That's
funny.
all I'm saying.
Uh,
That's all I'm
no,
saying.
and no, and you're right, and you're totally right. But also it can't be easy to live in this time with all the external pressures and all the external shit that Louis is dealing with, and
Yeah.
also be dealing with this like I'm a vampire shit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And I feel like Louis doesn't really get the fact that he's like super powerful, right? Like it feels
no,
like
yeah,
Lestat is always like, you're a vampire. Why the fuck you give a fuck about a job, a club, like
right.
and like
Yeah, you
Louis
can fuck
just
whoever you want,
like
you could eat whoever you want, you could do
I,
whatever you want, and like, and you're choosing to do this. I guess I'll
I
go along with it
can't.
because I love you, but you
Yeah,
know,
right. But like also acknowledge I'm going along with
right, right.
like, and and he's all it's almost like when you go to the mirror and you look at yourself and you're like, I'm awesome and I'm beautiful
Mhm.
and I'm strong. And it's like that's Lestat to Louis, and Louis is like, but I want to be regular,
Right. Yeah,
So
but this
it's
is bad, and I don't want to do this. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And he again, both sides are right. That's all. That both sides are right.
both
Because at
sides
this
are
point, guess what?
making
You're a
good points.
fucking vampire. You can't be. You can't. And again, like if you okay, there's some. So if he eats all the rats, do you know
Mhm.
the diseases that will then spread? So you're gonna cause a fucking bigger plague, Louis, if you eat all these goddamn rats that do have an actual fucking job.
Yeah, ugh.
Just saying. So
Just
good
right.
is
Just think about
relative.
that. Right.
That's all I'm
Think
saying.
about
Um, but from here, we switch to present day. Daniel, what do you think of Mr. Daniel
Oh my
Malloy? I don't think
gosh.
you said any much about
I
him.
I love, love, love Daniel Malloy. I love how prickly he is. I love how much he doesn't give a shit because his own mortality is on the line and he's like, what else do I have to lose? I love the relationship between um Louis and Daniel, how you can tell that they have history. And because of that history, Daniel is also a little prickly and hurt still by like what went down in the 70s during the first interview that he had with him.
Yeah. Which
Um, I just,
wait, sorry, which
everything
I still
about,
don't
yeah.
really understand, but
What do
I'm
you
gonna
mean?
leave that for another day because it's been so
Okay.
long since I saw
Okay.
it.
But I in the episode 2, I believe it was the end of episode 2 was when Daniel kind of told the story about the dessert. They were talking about the dessert that he was eating when he proposed to his first wife or
Yes.
something, and he closed the
Yes.
computer and stopped recording. I love that moment of vulnerability and being open with Louis, after Louis has done, is doing the same, with telling him the real story of him and Lestat. Like, I just, this entire relationship dynamic between Daniel and Louis and what's the server guy,
Oh,
the
I don't even
assistant
remember.
guy,
No, I barely
and him,
acknowledged that
even him,
server
like, I just
guy.
like all the, I don't know, I'm really enjoying this present day side of the story as well, because it's just, to me, it's just as interesting. um I'm
I
never,
agree.
I'm never like with Daniel and Louis, and wishing that I was back,
Uh,
in the past or whatever. Like, I think the
I
show
getcha.
does a really great job at making it concise, and interesting enough for, I don't know, to be entertaining. I
Yeah,
like
it
it.
almost kind of feels like two shows in one.
Yes.
When you're in the past with Lestat, you forget there's a present day, and then when you're in the
Yes.
present day with Daniel and Louis, you forget there's a past. So, are you watching The Serpent Queen?
I'm not. Should I?
Oh my, I didn't know you weren't. I would have been bothering you with it. Oh my, yes, it's fucking fantastic. I'm also
Yeah.
covering that. So this is
Okay.
shameless plug, but it's fucking fantastic.
Okay.
Yes,
I'll check it out.
yes. Go watch it
I'm gonna
today
do
after you get off this phone. Like you will not regret it. Like it's
it. I like it.
oh, it's so fucking good. Like
Okay.
there's every actor is in it. Like and it's also like actors you wouldn't think playing roles like Comini. Like you
Mhm.
probably wouldn't recognize his name because I barely recognize his name. But shit.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. Like again, it just has like the guy who played Tywin Lannister
Okay. Oh, I like
isn't
him.
it? He
Mhm.
plays a Medici Pope.
Love it.
Um, Samantha Morton, your girl, is that
My
Samantha
girl.
Morton? That's her name.
Yeah.
She's Catherine Medici,
Gorgeous.
so she's the lead.
Yes.
And she's training a younger black woman, so they're doing the colorblind casting thing as well. So they've got
I'm
black
into it.
people in roles, and she's basically training. She's got in my head, I'm like, she's training her to be evil. I love it, So it's
Yes. I'm in.
really,
I'm in.
yeah,
I'm in.
it's it. Okay, check it out.
Training anybody to be evil, I'm in.
Oh, look. Anyways, this is why I want a daughter. Let me stop.
No, you don't. They're so hard.
I'm sure I'll regret it, but it'll be fun. Okay, so we jump to present day with Daniel and Louis, where Daniel basically calls says, my guy, there's a lot of inconsistencies in your story because last week this ain't what you said, and this week you're saying some other things, and it's just really sound like you like are an abuse victim. And
Yeah. I love how Daniel just don't give a fuck, and he's just kind of like, look, you lying. Are you lying? Were you lying to me then, or are you
and
lying
he
to me now?
literally
But
plays
none of
the
this is right.
receipts. He's like,
Yes. He's like 1975. This is what you said. 2022. This is what you said. San Francisco. This is
which
what you
one
said.
is
You
it, Louis?
which one is it, Louis? Or are you just lying, lying
Oh,
because you're
oh
an
my
abuser?
god, I love it. I
I
love it.
I was like, okay, Daniel.
And the moments are so they look so quiet, but it's so
Yeah.
heavy.
It's very heavy. Yes, but that's
Oh,
what I love. I don't know. I
I
just think it's
love it.
very economical the way they're like
Oh yeah.
using this side of the story. Oh, mm,
Yes.
mm.
Yes. Man.
Show's perfect.
But what do you think about Louis saying he wasn't like an abuse victim and like he was. He was. But what do you think of his his truth? I guess is
Hmm.
probably the word that that's not what it was.
I mean, I think that in the story that he's telling us now, he is realizing that it wasn't necessarily a healthy relationship, and he continuously said, at least in episode 1 and 2, like, he had a way about him. It was like I was enthralled with him. I couldn't help it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that he does real that he has probably in hindsight has thought about his relationship and did realize that this wasn't great and it wasn't good and is not what I wanted, but I went along with it. And he doesn't completely completely blame Lestat for everything. He does own up to the fact that he was like, I did go along with it. I didn't want to. He said that, I think, when they were eating the singer, he was like, and I pretended to like
Eating the
it or something like
singer.
that. Like when
Yeah.
we drained him for hours and I pretended to like it the whole time. And I know that it was wrong, but he had a way about him. So
Yeah.
um I like the way that he's telling the story as he told Daniel in this scene. He's just kind of like, you know, that's kind of how it works with recollection or anything like that. And
Yeah. Oh,
he admitted that in 1975 when they had the original interview, it was a performance. He was like, it was an admitted performance, what I was telling you,
mhm.
because he was angry and he was, all of that
Yeah.
shit.
I
Yeah,
really hope Daniel gets to meet Lestat. I
me
haven't
too.
watched the rest of the season, so don't but I hope
Yeah,
they do. But the
me
line
too.
he had was, "This is the Odyssey of recollection," and that's what I'm gonna
Yes.
say when I lie next time.
Yes.
This is the Odyssey of my recollection. FYI, because that's good.
Yes.
That's good.
That's
Um,
real good.
the Odyssey of my recollection. Fuck you, Louis. But for me, I mean. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to choose my words here because it's like I love when a show like there's no good. Okay, okay, we've already started. There's no good or bad, but also like there's some people who are together in marriages for 60, 70 years. I think they're fucking crazy, but they're in love with each other. There are
Hmm.
crackheads who love each other. There are evil people who love each other. There are normal, quote unquote, people who like everyone is capable of some type of love, empathy, whatever, relationships. Like it just is. And there is, yes, there's something called healthy and boundaries and all of that, but I think there is an untruth that every relationship to be successful must be healthy,
Right.
if that makes sense. Because a
Right.
lot of y'all out there live in really toxic relationships, and it's your choice as long as people don't put hands on each other and people aren't hurting each other. Like live your life,
Right.
but
And I
at the
think what
same time,
works
we
for
all have. Wait. Let me wrap this
sorry,
little
I'm
bow
sorry.
off. No, it's
Yeah.
fine because I'm gonna lose my thought in 2.5 seconds. But it's like we all come with baggage. Is my point. We all like
Yes.
the show is very heightened because they're vampires and whatever. But like we all come with baggage and trauma and happiness and life experiences that color our relationships with each other. And the point should eventually be you grow, you get better, you change, and you get to a medium where if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, you walk away. My hope is like this is a forever thing because I love them. So yeah, great scene between Daniel and Louis. Like he's such a fantastic actor, Jacob Anderson, Sam Reed. I mean, everyone.
Everyone is.
But
Like I
I'm
just
just go ahead.
the more you see him, the more I'm just kind of like, wow, Game of Thrones really
That's
just
literally what I was
misused
about to
them.
say. Yeah.
Every episode, I
That's
think I have that thought at least once.
yeah. And I
Just
feel like that's why I
misused
keep saying that because it's just like you had treasure, you
them.
dumbasses.
Yep.
But yeah, so from there he throws away the receipts, and like I guess we're also supposed to see that Louis used like his mind powers to burn it.
To
Is that
burn it, yeah. Something.
telekinesis?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pyrokinesis.
There you go, pyrokinesis.
Yeah.
Um, which that was another thing this episode did. It kind of shows us like their power levels a little bit bigger outside of just like super strength and mind control. Like when we see
Right.
Lestat later, he oh my battery is not charging. He like mind controls, like it's one thing to mind control one person, but he did it to a room full of people. Like don't let that, I mean, or maybe let that man in the White House. How would that work?
It's very much the older they get, it seems like the older they get, the more stuff they can do, or the more the power
Wait, repeat
builds.
that last part.
No, I said that it seems like the older they get, the more powers they get, or the stronger their power gets, or
Yes.
the it gets stronger, their
The
power,
it evolves
or
maybe.
whatever they have. Yeah, it
Yeah.
evolves or whatever. Like the older they
Okay.
get, that's what it seems like. Because
Yeah.
I want to say that Lestat said that in episode 2, like something that he can do, you can't do yet because like you were just born,
You're a
pretty much,
baby
or something.
vampire.
Yeah.
He's a baby vampire. Okay. So let's see. So they continue. What did I write here? This dude is eating. Oh, he's eating rats out back.
Okay.
Because of course this is sort of the scene where Louis Lestat's got a new plaything, and Louis, like, imagine being Lestat and you gotta kiss your man with rat breath. Like that alone is a deal breaker for me. Like
Agreed.
Lestat loves him.
Yes, he
Like
does.
you
Like I know
you
he's
you
like fucking that girl. I know, but also he loves him.
he loves him.
He
Cause
loves him so
did you brush
much.
your teeth before you came in this house?
No,
Cause
he did not. With his rat breath.
anyway, but yeah, fucking Louis, man, he's out here eating
You know
rats.
he
He's
loves
there's a
it.
guy catching them and delivering them out back while he like eats them and
My
chucks
thing is
them to
like,
the corner.
why wouldn't you like go get a chicken or something? Like a rat? Like get a chicken. It's
Because that's a
bigger.
pet. That's food.
Right. It's food.
But
He's
no,
gonna
this is
eat it.
also just shame. I think deep down, right? Because
Yeah, of
he
course.
considers himself like he's not better than these animals,
Right.
which is why I feel like he feels he should be eating these animals and nothing better like chicken, like chicken. Like yes, or a pig. Get
A pig, a
pigs.
goat. Like I'm trying to think of things that like
Not a
people
fucking
have.
rat. I mean, he's also in New Orleans in the city, so
Yeah,
but
that's
like,
true.
yeah, rat breath, rat
An
breath. Just want to mention
alligator.
that. That
Thank
goddamn
you.
right. It's a
Right?
bayou. Look, he needs to open up his options, but and I love how like Lestat lets him go through this journey of fuck ups.
He does. And he's like, "Hey, I'm going to respect you." And he started killing away from the house. He
Yeah,
started doing all of his eating, sexual and otherwise, outside the house,
a
and
man
he's
who
just like being
listens.
respectful. Yeah,
He
for
is.
now.
He is. But I was like, this is terrible. This is all gonna end terrible. I was like, people. I thought the chick he was fucking was going to get murdered, and I thought the dude he was fucking was going to get murdered. But hey, we
Mhm.
still got episodes. Who knows?
Right.
So yeah, Louis is eating like creatures of the night, which is fucking with his energy levels and libido, which means ain't no fucking happening at home.
No.
And with this scene where Lestat is having sex with this singer, I don't know what her day
Singer.
job is. Night job
She's a,
singer. Yeah, oh, she was the one
yeah,
at
she's just
the
a singer.
club. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Louis leaves, and
Leads them
from
to it.
huh?
He leaves them to it.
He leaves them to it because he doesn't want to participate and he can't participate.
Right.
Let's see. We have me and my script. Jesus Christ, blah blah.
While you look
Barry's
that up,
have
can I just say that I really, I mean, I know that they're kind of like going through something right now in their relationship, but I like how open they are. Like, they're in a, they're in an open relationship, and they seem to be like, it seems to be working for them in a
yes,
way,
yes.
even though Lestat is a little jealous.
Like
But
again, they never go to bed angry.
no, and I appreciate that of their relationship. Like,
Yes,
it's a
yes,
real relationship, regardless of their problems and regardless of who they're sleeping
yes.
with. It's
Yeah.
always the two of them. They come back to that.
Look,
Um,
because this was probably my favorite scene this episode is, he's fucking this woman and Louis goes out back to like eat whatever
right.
and he's jealous. He's jealous. Like,
Of course. Yeah.
facts. And then Louis Lestat comes through and it's like they're bickering again, but when like Lestat is like, you can we're gonna be together for
Yeah.
till the like this man is like, it's you and me, regardless of all this other bullshit. It's
Yeah.
you and me till the end.
Yeah.
And man, I was like,
I was like, yes, of
oh,
course it
what
is
is
forever. Yeah.
that? And then, and then when Lestat is like, you gonna fuck other people, and Louis like, I hear, he's like, yeah,
And like, he's like, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. He was so convincing himself of that. He was like, yeah, absolutely. You could see the panic of jealousy in Lestat's eyes.
I was like, somebody's about to get murdered. I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, so hard. I was like, he's gonna murder the next person Luis breathes
oh my
on.
god, I love it. I love that scene so much. It's so
It
fucking
was great.
perfect.
It really
Ah,
was.
they're stupidly cute.
But I like that, they talked about it. Hey, this is what is happening. And I think, what did Louis called it? Like sanction cheating or sanction,
Yeah, permission.
something like that.
It's an
Permission.
it's an
Yeah. So it was just,
official open relationship. It's not the
yeah,
one where he says they're in an open relationship but you don't verify. It's
right.
like
Like, they
verified.
had a conversation and it's
Yes.
verified and we can do
Yes.
others. Yeah.
Exactly.
But you
Except
always come
no.
home.
Except
You
you
always
can't
come.
now when
No,
you can't. Like this is like
no,
if
when you can't.
somebody like if you ever ask me like, do you want that cookie? And I'm like, no, I don't. Carly, give me the fucking cookie. Like, and that's
I'll give you the
like, it's
cookie.
not a yes. Just because I'm saying, if I'm like saying no, but my head is shaking yes, like
Yes.
go with the head shaking yes.
You're so funny.
But they also don't try to change each other.
No.
They just,
I
he's
think
not like fucking eat, and he's not like you fucking do eat my way. It's like you got that happening, I'm got that happening. We'll respect boundaries, and again, like no, it's so grown up.
it is. Yeah.
And toxic and terrible.
No, absolutely toxic and terrible, but also, yeah, it's grown up.
Yeah, it's very grown
I
up.
mean,
They
who's it? Like,
communicate
no
better than most
relationship's
people.
perfect, right?
No, and that's my point. No relationship is perfect. That should
No
be
relationship is perfect. Whatever
the
works
quote
for
on top of
one
this podcast
doesn't work
episode.
for the other.
Yeah, they're all different.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
So, oh, I love it. So yeah, so they have a heart to heart. Oh, and immediately afterwards, we have the introduction to Louis' child, I guess a childhood friend, young
Yeah.
friend, something, who is now in the army, I'm guessing.
Yes, he enlisted, and I guess he's going to World War I believe.
Yeah, so imagine trying to have relationship talks with your man during World War One. It's like I'm gonna have to have this conversation after the war, honey. like I don't know. It just feels like their relationship is a lot right now with World War One on the horizon, which is also going to be a great time for vampires because you could just like eat to our heart's content because everyone is dying.
You should just go to the battlefield and do that. Yeah.
Look, but also like Louis at Lestat say, like you don't want them like dead. Also, sir.
No,
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
No. You need fresh blood, obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Okay, so let's see, where am I in my notes? Okay, so they agree. We meet his childhood friend, who I immediately was like, oh, he's a childhood friend.
Yes. And I like how subtle it was. They were like catching up. Oh my God, I can't believe you enlisted. Yeah. Oh my God, just saw your sister. Oh my God. Yeah, she has twins, right? I haven't seen her in a while. Anyways, you remember the old times?
Oh yeah, I remember the
And he
old
was
times.
like, yeah, I remember the old times. And I was
So
like, okay, I guess he's an
look,
old friend.
he's an old friend. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And it was, yeah, and it was very, I'm sure. I mean, that's you know, you needed that coded language, I'm sure, in those days
It's not even
when
coded.
not
It's just
everybody was a
It's just saying, like, you don't need to say everything explicitly. Like, I can look at you and not say shit, and I mean that bitch is a hoe. Like, I don't have to say it to
of
say
course
it.
not. Of course.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they take a ride out to the bayou, and he gets head from this old friend, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Is Lestat gonna kill him now?"
Oh my
Like,
God. Because you know he was listening. Like
yeah,
you
and
heard the like
watching like a
heartbeat.
fucking creep.
When you heard the
Oh,
heartbeat,
I thought
do you
that was
remember
his.
that?
I thought it was the guy. No, they don't have heartbeats. I thought that
They
was the
don't have
guy.
heartbeat.
How does that work? I thought that was the. Okay, no, I thought it was
Because
Luis.
do
Heartbeat,
you
or was it
remember
the
their
guy giving him
first,
head?
you remember the first time they had sex when they like
Yes.
like levitated and Louis said something about like his heart, my heart. No, no, no. It was when he was becoming, when he
When
bit
he
him and he
turned
was
into a
becoming a vampire.
vampire, he said he could
Yeah,
hear the
and he was
pounding of his
talking about,
heart or some shit.
was it the pounding of his own heart? Okay, then my
And I
bad.
don't even. And I thought it was like, because you're dead, so you don't have a heart. So
That's
I thought it
true.
was like the last sounds of his vampire,
Of
like
his
his
own
human
heart.
heart.
Yes. Okay, you're right.
And
You're totally right.
but then it does make this scene confusing because he's getting head, so it wouldn't be the guy's heartbeat. It could be.
He could be hearing his own, but I'm gonna say that it was the guy's heartbeat that he was
Yeah.
hearing because he also like fanged out. Um,
Yeah, and
and
why
you know,
is
and
he
the thing.
sucking his own blood? That feels like something you shouldn't do.
No, but I think maybe it was like instead of like
No, eating the
stopping
guy.
right and eating the stopping head and eating the guy, I'm just gonna just bite myself and get that urge out of the way.
Okay,
You
I
know,
was
that's how I
like,
took it.
oh, no, I mean that's how I took it too. But I was like, okay, because some vampire lores, they like you can't like drink your
Right.
own blood. Like,
Right.
I don't, yeah. But no, I guess the
Maybe I don't know.
guy.
Maybe it was one of those like it's so good you have to like bite yourself.
Yeah, that's also a thing. That is also a thing.
That's also a
Um,
thing.
but yeah, he goes home. Let's see. I think I skipped something here. Oh, okay. So after the bayou, he actually goes to his mom's house, his house technically, because it's his niece's birthdays. It's so I guess
Hmm.
this is a good time jump establishment because those kids look to be about like 9, 10, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how ages work with kids.
They look like
Look,
they're like 8, yeah.
yeah. Okay.
The
Good.
twins.
Good. Um, super
Because
cute, but
time
his
does
mama don't
go.
like him. I said the first episode,
No.
I was like, his mama don't like him, and I'm gonna stick to that because his
Louis?
yes,
No, his mom has a problem with him. I think
yeah,
even before he became a
became a
vampire,
vampire. She didn't like
his
him,
mom had a problem with, I think it was like the way he like lived his life
even
or
though
something like that.
she lives off the life
Lives
he
off of it.
provided,
Absolutely.
which
Yeah,
is
oh,
called
I mean so
hypocrisy.
many so many of us are hypocrites that way. Um
Absolutely,
but like
absolutely.
I don't yeah, I never
And her
I always
husband
got the
probably started some
impression.
of the work that her son inherited to provide for
Yes.
her. But hey, hey,
Yes. Yeah. No, absolutely. But I think I got the impression that that he's kind of like the black sheep of the family for lack of a better awful term.
yeah, like she
And
really
he's
liked
just
Paul.
right, but I also believe it, it's probably because he's gay and she knows it, you know what I mean? And she's not,
Oh yeah,
and that's
yeah.
not something. So it's a lot, but no, she cannot stand him. And now that she sees the devil in him, as she says,
Yeah.
and he's running around with this white European,
Oh,
like
that
she
was it for her.
really
This white
that
devil.
was it. Mm-hmm.
he keeps bringing
Literally,
around.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But because I was just like, okay, it can't be that I was like, I would still love my son if he was a vampire. I'd be like, oh shit, what we doing with this Sonny? And
No,
I was like, I don't think she likes her. I don't know if this
nope,
has to do with him being a vampire or not.
nope.
She might just not
Oh
like
man.
him.
Oh,
But yeah, it's
crazy.
terrible
It's
because he
nice. I
loves
do
his
like her.
sister,
Yeah,
and that relationship is like
it
not great
was
now.
right because he there was that baby incident,
Well, there was that
and
baby
now
incident. Yes,
he's kicking doors in and all that stuff. Yeah.
yes,
But
yes. It's
the relationship with his sister, it was so special and tender, and it was that sibling shit, um regardless of whatever his relationship with his mom was. But at the end of the day, this is still like his people, this is his family, and this little incident and them kind of um shunning him, I guess, or being like, you're dead to us, like
mhm.
that's another tie to his self and community and humanity. It's like slowly, it's being slowly taken away from him.
Yes,
And
yes. But
that to me
again,
was like
like
so
he's lose.
heartbreaking.
I'm so sorry. Now I was gonna say again, he's losing control though because he's not fucking eating right. Like this out of
It's
control
probably
behavior
it's probably
is
hungry.
he's hungry. Ugh, I know how I
He's
get.
hungry. Yeah, right. You get
Fuck
real. I get
everything
real
up.
hangry.
Look, like shit will get knocked over. So like,
Hmm.
yes, yes, Louis, you need a meal.
Right. You
Um,
need a Snickers bar.
but yeah, it feels like he's not gonna be going back home for
No,
visits.
but that's
Much,
heartbreaking.
yeah. Because this is
That's
why he's still trying
heartbreaking.
to be a person, right? Because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
values from his family, because of his
Hmm.
family. But he
Right.
can't, like, to see his family, he would have to kill people, and like, it's weird, like,
Or he would have
But
to
to
like
see,
tell them.
no, no, not even that. I mean, like, if he was eating full human meals,
Oh, okay.
he
Right.
wouldn't be in more control of his emotions and reactions, but that would
Yeah.
also mean he's becoming less human. So he's trying
Right.
to hold on to his humanity by eating rats, which is making him lose his humanity. It's weird. It's
Yeah.
weird. He's not winning. He's not
No,
winning.
he's not.
Um,
Not at all. But
yeah,
I
so
like his
he's a
mom. It's nice to
mhm.
see Ray Don Chan back on TV or back anywhere. Popular.
Absolutely. I agree.
Hmm.
Juwan yelled at me because we
Fernanda.
went on a deep dive. That
She
was
was before your time. You're so young. No,
I'm not that young, but thank you.
she
I'll take
was
you.
not. I'm not gonna say she was big
No,
in
I
the
saw
'80s,
Color
but
Purple,
yeah.
but
She was in
yeah.
this movie that I really liked when I was younger, called The Principal,
Oh
and
yeah?
and Tales from the Dark Side. It was one of these like anthology films, and she was in one of the films that is like one of my favorite little shorts. Is a horror short. It's about a gargoyle and whatever. It's really
Okay.
great. Tales from
Well,
the
it's
Dark
my
Side.
loss. I
Yeah,
absolutely believe it's my loss. I'll try to search her out when I have time.
yeah.
Um,
She's Tommy
okay.
Chung's daughter
Oh,
of Cheech and Chong.
oh, okay, okay. Okay, so yeah, terrible family outing. He goes home. He
Mm-hmm.
goes home to his man, and he's had a
To his
hard
man.
day. And
Yes,
this
he
man got a
has.
bunch of people in their house, and he's like, "My God, what about our coffins?" And he's like, "They dumb. They they're not." But it's like he's tired. You have
Yeah.
people in his house. You didn't tell him you were inviting a bunch of like people over, and then Lestat is like, "Well, whatever. You can fuck them, and I'll eat them." I was like, "You gonna eat everyone?"
He is so petty in this scene, and I
Oh
loved
my!
it.
Oh,
Lestat is
I
so
loved
petty
it.
because it's not just people that he has in his house; they're all soldiers. Like the
Yes.
soldier that
People
sucked
might
what's
miss
his
them
face's
as they're
dick.
going to war.
But I was like, I love it. And then he's just kind of like, what? That now I know that you have this type. It's your type. You can fuck all of them. I was like, you are so
Which
petty,
was the
sir.
confirmation we needed
Right.
that his behind was looking at shit he shouldn't have been looking at.
Yes. He was like,
Um,
oh, I know I am a lot. I'm a lot,
yes,
like you said. I was like,
but you love
ew.
me.
Yeah.
He's so jealous. It's
He
so
was
cute how
so
jealous
jealous.
he
He
was.
was so right. I was
It's
like,
so cute.
ooh,
If it
he's so
wasn't
cute.
deadly, it'd be cuter.
Obviously, yeah.
Ah.
Even so, it's cute.
Yes, but
But
again,
I
like he
love his
didn't
level
like,
of, you know,
huh?
like I love his level of like, I'm gonna show him, you know what I mean? Like
Yes,
he's
yes.
so like
But
enraged
again, you
by
gave him
Louis being with somebody
permission, and
else.
it seems we're gonna get in sync here. We're gonna
Mm,
listeners, my our bad. We're just super excited.
we are
Um,
sorry.
but what was I don't know what was I gonna say, but yeah, it's just it's cute, it's petty, it's toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if Louis is going to continue to exercise his open relationship role going forward, but it'll be interesting to see. But I also enjoyed the scene a lot because again, we got to see like Lestat kind of be like Professor Xavier, like like the
Right,
mind
mind control.
control.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you see, it takes a lot out of him because like his ear bled from
And he
like
like
mind
stumbled a little.
controlling, huh?
Yeah. And he stumbled a little bit. He like fell,
Yeah,
on the chair and oof.
yeah.
It was
And
a lot of
Louis
people,
is like,
but
I
he
didn't
did
even
it.
actually do all that, but okay. Show off.
That was
He's like, I'm
dramatic, but
alive.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm alive. Oh God.
I love
Uh,
when Lestat gets like full, like all in his drama. I love it.
yelly,
And yet, yes,
yelling.
and
Like he's so
I'm
like
so here
so
for him.
hurt. This thought is so hurt.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's like,
is.
I just want you to eat humans and murder folks with me. Why did you just do that?
You just be there.
And Louis is
Why
like,
you like
I can't stand you. Oh man,
uh,
they are complicated. They are
they are
complicated.
they're so opposite of one another,
Yes. But
but
are
because
they?
they're so in love, you know what I mean? And
Yes. Yeah.
like and I know a lot of us may know that dynamic, may know that relationship where you're just like so into the person, you can't, it feels like you can't breathe without them, but you know that
Yes.
you just aren't good for each other.
Yes. But also like
Yeah.
you can't stay away from each other. So what
You
do you
can't stay
do?
away.
What do
Yeah.
you
And
do? I mean,
that's where we are with these two.
yeah. And they're not even like a decade in.
No,
I want
they're a
to see
couple of
how.
years though. They're almost a decade, I want to say,
Yeah,
at
they're
this point.
probably, yeah, maybe it's like their seven
Yeah.
year itch.
Yeah.
But
Something
it's like it's
something
not.
like that.
They're still in this. I don't even know. World 19th. Okay, 18th, 19th century. Okay, okay.
They are.
Like,
It's like it's about like 1920 now, I want to say, because it
right?
started in 1910, and
Okay.
it's been a while because the sisters' kids are like eight,
Yeah,
9, or some
yeah,
shit
and
like that. So
he
it's been a
was
while.
turned before they were born, or even
Right.
conceived.
Right.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, because she got married. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he mind controls everyone, and they fight and they yell, and it does. It's not a good fight. It's not a good fight. So from here, and again, it's because Lestat wants Louis to be himself. And when I say like, they're very different, like you say, they're very different, but also in a way they're very much the same if Louis would let the fuck go. But
Yeah.
Louis then might be worse than Lestat. So maybe his restraint is there for a reason. I don't
Right.
know.
He could be like Stefan and be a reaper, a ripper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But Lestat would love that.
Oh my God, that would
um,
be happier than a pig in
like,
shit. Yeah.
this is the husband I've always wanted.
Yes,
I knew you
finally.
had it in you.
Welcome to the dark side.
That's all he wanted. That's all he wanted.
Can I just say, have I
So
said
yes,
how like beautiful these two are? I feel like
they're gorgeous.
it's been too
They're
long.
gorgeous. Yeah,
Sam
it
Reed,
has
Jacob
been.
Anderson, they are beautiful. They're beautiful
uh,
together. They're beautiful apart.
yes,
They're beautiful
their
as vampires. They're
chemistry
beautiful as
is
humans. Oof, their
there.
chemistry is
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I can't add to that because you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
So, and I really like.
They wear a
I'm
suit well.
they they wear a lot of things well. They wear each
Yeah,
other well.
they wear
I
nothing
just
well.
they wear blood
Like this.
well. I'm like, I love it.
Like,
I love
I
it.
wish you had been here to see my jaw drop on the floor when, like, they were having sex for the first time, and his
The air.
penis and him was somehow
Yeah.
lifted up from the floor, and I was like, "Wow, that's the best sex. That's
Right. I know. What was
that's
it
the
that you
best
said
sex."
on your show? You said, how do you go back to
Really?
regular sex after that?
I mean, facts, facts.
Yeah.
How
I
do
was,
you? Question.
can't. You
No,
cannot.
no, you can't. You
Which
can't.
makes all the sense in the world while Louis puts up with so
Yes.
much of this
Oh,
shit.
I would too. I would
No.
too, Louis.
Mm,
We'll
mm, mm.
figure it out eventually. And but
Right.
again, like
Yeah.
Lestat will then say shit like we're gonna be together till forever.
No. And
Love
he
it.
seems
Oh.
what I like about Lestat. I've never read the books. I've only seen the movie a long time ago. But what I
Mhm.
like about Lestat, the way Sam Reed is playing him, is that he is so he's so charming and he's
Yes.
so like I'm sure he makes you feel like you're the only person in the world and that he only
Yes.
wants you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's very intoxicating. Someone that can do that is very intoxicating. And then you add the fact that he actually feels that way about Louis. I mean, fuck, I can't blame Louis for just being so into him that way.
Because again, he loves him. They just have to find a
Absolutely.
middle ground, and that's really gonna be hard. Because
Right.
again,
That's
he's
gonna be
also his maker, his master, his
right.
first lover, male lover. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
maybe not, because he
Yeah,
has
maybe
had
not
young
his first
friends. So
male
I
lover.
take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Young
not,
friends.
but definitely his. And like you said, they're very open with their relationship,
Right.
right? Like I'm sure
Hmm.
folks that knew him growing up knows he don't go home anymore, knows he's always hanging out with that white fella. Like just
Right.
knows and knows and knows. I mean, obviously they're not open completely, but
Right.
the
No, but
two
people
uncles.
know. No, yeah, no,
Yeah.
man. People know the singer is just kind of like, oh, I've heard a lot of things about,
Yes.
about you
Yeah.
guys. There are rumors, about you guys. Is there one or bed or two
Hmm.
beds upstairs? You know what I mean? So it's like there are
Yes.
rumors around the fucking asshole politician guy with the big mustache. Like he even
Yes. He's
says
like
he's
he
like,
could
oh,
be
I don't
your
care what's
cover.
sadism or whatever is going sodomites is going on in that house. Like so,
Yeah.
like there are rumors, absolutely.
Yes, there are. There are. And I think like since we are entering World War One, right? If you think about it, and like where their relationship started, where they go to the opera, but like he has to
Hmm.
stand until the person leaves. Like
Right.
once a war happened, nobody gives a fuck about all those fake rules y'all came up with, right?
Hmm.
So pre and post, I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of difference. So that would be good to see. That would be good to
Absolutely, yeah,
see.
yeah.
So yes, they do have a meeting with some white men. There was a scene earlier where they were playing poker. There's another black man in the room now, which is nice. The I don't even know, brothel worker from the very first episode who chopped the man's dick off with her mouth,
Love
maybe,
her. Right.
is
She's
now
now like
like
the
counting.
accountant or something.
Yes, and
Yeah.
she has a great personality because she, because like I think it's the scene where the guy's like, "You have a woman counting your money," and she's like, "You didn't call me a cunt, a this, a bitch. You called me a woman,
Right.
and
Right.
I'll take you home and make you the happiest man." It's like
Yep.
I like her. I like her.
I like her a lot
Um,
too. Yeah.
but they're also saying you have no guards. I'm like, he is the guard. He is the guard.
He said he was like,
You know.
I don't need any other guard than me or something or body,
Yep. And he's not
protector,
wrong.
whatever than me. But
He's
it's good
not
because
wrong.
it's not good. The like what's happening is these blue laws that are being enacted are being like enforced. However,
Yes.
it's only being enforced to the black business owners,
Yes.
and they're targeting these places, and that's what's happening. So Louis is trying to like get around that a little bit by giving some of the ownership, like a percentage of the ownership of his bar to the girls that work there. So then it
Mhm.
could be like a property thing instead of like a business thing.
Yes.
That's
But
kind of
whatever
like
he
the gist.
does, there's a
Yeah.
roadblock.
Right. And every
And
single time they're screwing him because that's what the white man
yes.
does.
And I guess he just doesn't go around listening to people's mind, which is a real bad thing to do in business, Louis. If you have that ability,
Just do it. Right.
and it's the South and they're white
Right.
racist men, like
Right. And
Jesus
he knows.
Christ.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, and I kind of feel like Lestat knew, like Louis was getting taken advantage of, but again, like Lestat feels very much like you need to learn your lessons,
Hmm.
and I'm not gonna hover.
Yeah. And I think wasn't in the when they were talking in the office and they're just kind of like, oh, you could move to the French Quarter and
Yeah.
like have Lestat pay for
Be
it.
your
Lestat is
cover.
like,
And he's like, I'm on my own
This is
shit. And
yeah. He was just kind of like, this is Louis' hobby. This is not my shit. This is not my shit. I'm
I
not.
am just
I'm
here
just
so I
here
don't get
so I
fined.
don't get
I am
fined.
here
Right.
to be a supportive spouse. Because does it look
That's
like I
exactly
care?
what he is. Exactly.
I love him.
Uh,
He's so bored by all this human shit.
by all this human shit, right? He's
Yeah.
so bored. It's like insufferable, and I can't. I mean, just as a human is kind of insufferable. So I can only
Look.
imagine as like this higher,
He's like,
predator.
we don't he's probably got like a pyramid in Egypt where he keeps like nothing but gold bullions. Like,
Right.
who the fuck knows? Like, he's like, I don't, or he could just mind control the bank owner to give him the bank. Like,
To give him right to give him ownership of anything he wants. Like,
oh my lord. Yeah. But
but
he loves
he's like,
Louis,
yeah,
so
this
he's
is
gonna
Louis.
be here. Yeah. This
He's
is my
gonna be
man's
here.
thing. I'm just here to sign
That's my. I'm
papers.
just here for support, moral support, and sign papers.
That's my
I'm
man.
just
I'm
here to sign
sticking by
papers.
him. I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
because he loves him.
He loves him. Oh, I love it.
Oh,
But yeah, so during this meeting is when Louis finally reads the older man's mind and finds out like that from Tom or some shit that
yeah,
they're basically like knew all these blue laws were gonna be enacted and with the
yeah.
war and just and the guy's like, well, we didn't cheat you. You were the one who like offered the price and we agreed and if you want though, I can be a nice white man and like sell it to you 15 cents on the dot.
15 cents on the dollar. I was mad that Louis didn't slap him right there. You know what I
I thought
mean?
he would kill him right then and there.
Yeah.
Like, just kill him then.
Like
I
that
was
felt
like,
like
Lestat
restraint
would be
on his
fine.
part.
Yeah.
Right. He
Lestat
was
would
like,
be
I
like,
could give it to
yay.
you for 15 cents on the dollar.
That's,
I was like, I
so you
cannot.
are going to take a property I bought for like 85% off.
Right.
Get the fuck. I mean, at the end of the day, they burned that shit. So I guess he
Right.
got it for free. I don't know. Right racist in the South winning. Love it. So yeah, the realization that these people have scammed him comes out. So it's just like I don't know how many minutes, but like every scene is just the world pushing Louis further and
Yeah.
further into being shit. And he would
Yeah.
really like to not be, but his mama is an asshole. These aldermans are assholes. And, he's there's one thing I just realized in the beginning of the story. Louis mentions how, people, like his people and vampires, like just he's always sort of trying to put himself in a category of belonging, right? And he's like, we're meant to do something, like we're put here to do something greater. And Lestat kind of mentions, motherfucker, I put you here. I made you. You do what I say if that's how you think of it. And Louis like,
Right.
no.
No, thank you.
No, exactly. But it's also kind of funny because at this point, with these men basically trying to take advantage and forcing him to sign, he snaps and just goes full scorched earth. He decides to make the club a coloreds only, and even his like brothel owners are like, on the behalf of the staff, this is
a bad idea, Louis. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it. He lost the shit. I mean, how could he not, right? But he lost it. He lost
Yes,
it.
he did.
And he's like, I'm going to show them. I mean, it doesn't end up working out for him, but
At all. At
he
no
tried it.
stage of the way was anything he was doing a good idea. But also, Lestat, thank you for letting him fall and not.
Right.
I
I mean,
mean,
the
he
thing is,
couldn't. He couldn't. He couldn't.
as a parent, as Lestat is in this case, like he
Yes.
had to let him fall so he can learn how to stand back up.
Yes, because nothing he did made help.
No.
And then he goes to the
No,
other man's house, and he's just calm, just sitting there looking elegant.
But like you know that he snapped, and that's what
Look.
that calm when someone
Yes.
snaps.
Yeah, it's
That's
like I'm
what
not
he
even
was.
angry anymore. Like, this is your fault.
No, right? I'm not even angry. I'm just gonna dismember you, and we're gonna be okay.
Savagery, just
I'm gonna
savagery.
pull your heart right out of your chest, hang you up on the church, so
I don't know, is
everybody
that
can
the
see.
small intestine or one of the intestines?
It was like, I'm gonna say it was like one too many intestines out of his
Like,
body.
I don't even think we've seen Lestat with this level
No,
of carnage.
I mean, Lestat was a
Not
proud
that he
papa.
hasn't. Huh?
Lestat was a proud papa, though.
He was. He absolutely was. And he hangs this man
Yes.
on, I don't know what it is, like a church, or I don't know. It's a
Yeah.
big
It's a
property
big, yeah, it's a big
area,
famous
or
church
maybe it's like
in
City
New
Hall.
Orleans.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's dead. The
He's
ultimate
very
is
dead.
dead. Yes.
I like
And
how like the in that scene before he kills him and he's like playing with him, he's taunting him, right? So he learned from the best. But I like what the guy is just kind of like doing all the threats, right? And he's like threatening Louis left and right. And then Louis just stops and goes, "Why is your heart beating so fast?" And I
hmm
was just kind of like, "Oh my God, this man doesn't know what he has coming to him."
and then he takes
And
out his gun
I
like that was gonna do something.
yeah, he goes, "That's all right. I'll let you reload." I liked that, the escalation of that scene. Um oh, but the escalation throughout the whole episode of like, one tie being cut after another, you know what I mean? Of like his ties to his family, community, to his business, anything that would make him Louis, the old Louis Dupont de Lac, like all
Yes.
that is gone. And then this act of savagery was the last bit. And when he said, when the guy's just kind of like, "What are you?" And he says, "I'm a vampire." That was
Yeah,
the
he
first time
owns
he
it.
said it, and he owned it, and he really owned it. He owned it with
Yes.
style, as they say.
And like you
So
said, Lestat was a proud papa.
he was like, "Oh, I forgot what was it he said, but he was really a proud papa." And I was
Oh my
like, I cannot with
God.
you.
And this kicks off riots in the city,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
right.
which just makes him now feel even more like shit. Like Lestat is like that person who just takes all the burdens of the world on themselves. Like
Louis,
he's like, this
yeah.
is my fault, my people, and it's like, calm your britches down. Like that guy was not wrong. Your hubris is slightly out of control. Again,
Yeah.
him and Lestat, very similar. Let's be
But
honest.
absolutely. But it
Like that's
was his
honestly
fault
why
that
his
all
mama
of
don't
this.
like him.
It probably is. That's probably the
Why?
reason. Because she
Yes,
knows
yes.
deep in his heart.
That's her hubris. That's her
Right.
hubris.
Right. I
Because the audacity,
cannot.
she's like, I knew he walked the night. Bitch, he could kill
Right.
you and you still popping. Your mouth is
Yeah.
still, if you think he's
Hubris.
truly evil, why
Shut
is
your
your
mouth.
mouth still moving?
Right. Right.
Yeah, I
Right.
can't.
But Louis isn't wrong in
No,
feeling
no.
guilty for, I guess, destroying his community because of his actions is the reason that like the riots and all of this shit was
Yes.
was really popping off because he escalated it. He got
But
it to
did
that
he?
point.
Because this sort of feels like the kind of thing that just will inevitably, because let's take aside the fact that Louis is an empire, right? Because what these white
Mhm.
men are basically doing is illegal. They're like breaking property, burning down property. And all they're going to do is burn that neighborhood down, buy it cheaper, and that'll be the
Yeah.
new white part of town.
Yes.
And the blacks will
Absolutely.
not be allowed to live there anymore.
No.
So
They were trying to push
this
him to the quarter.
exactly. So this would eventually happen.
Yes.
Yes, Louis is a part of it, but he's not the cause. Like in his
He's
head,
not.
by killing this all, like even if you didn't kill this alderman, all the shit they're doing, which is oppressive and taking away rights and property from people, would eventually have people pushing back.
Absolutely, eventually. But right now, a direct cause of what he did to the
Yes.
alderman is
Yes,
what
is this.
it, like
Yes.
popped everything
Yeah,
off. So that's
you're
why
right.
he's just kind of like, oh shit. So
Yeah.
the people that he was trying to
Help.
protect or
Yeah.
stand up for, or whatever, like it's like that backfired on him.
Yes.
And
But also
so he's
like,
just kind of like, fuck, it's my fault.
yeah, true. But also I do agree, like just his hubris.
Yeah.
It's not even like hubris, right? Because it comes from wanting to take care, right, of the people around him. Like
Hmm.
again, that was from the very beginning of the scene where he kind of mentions again the slaves who were part of the book, the story that Louis Lestat is reading, and by the end, it's like again, like I try to do this so they don't take advantage, and they still take advantage. Like I have
Yeah.
mind control powers, and these motherfuckers still took advantage of me,
Absolutely. Right.
and
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
now my
And
city's burning.
it's burning, and it was the like constant like frustration for what they're doing to him
Yeah.
personally, to his business, to the
Like they were
community.
playing poker, they were
Absolutely.
laughing. He's still dealing with these folks, and they're
Yep.
like not even
And
like
they're
50% off. They're like 85% off. Like,
yeah, and I
yo,
like that he had the, and talk about hubris, the alderman guy with the mustache was just kind of like, I mean, what was it that he said? He said like, he said something like, I mean, all of this is legal. It's all in the laws because
ain't
they
it
were
though?
enacting those laws. I mean, it was coming from Washington. It was like from the president
Yes.
down, and it was this was happening in real life, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
as well. All these blue law stuff, but like it because it was in the law, they were just kind of making sure that everyone got a shit end of the deal, or the black people, or the people of
And they
color got a shit end
profited.
of the
Yeah.
deal, and they profited off of it. It's
And
the
people
age
still feel
old.
like that today. People still
Yeah,
do
of
it
course,
today.
it's still
It's in the law.
happening.
It's legal. Okay, but like, get out of my face. That's not like
Absolutely, yeah.
what's oftentimes what's legal and what's right are two different things. Didn't they just say a state just
Mhm.
fucking abolished slavery this
Yep.
year
Yeah,
in America
five
in
of them.
2020?
It was like five of them had it on the ballot. Three of them abolished it. I
Because
want to
we
say
weren't
Louisiana
sure.
was one of the was one
No,
of
of
the
course
ones.
it
I want to
was.
say,
Of course.
and like Tennessee and like Oregon or
Ohio,
some shit. I don't know.
I'm slandering states. I don't know for sure,
Um,
but like it's fact that a
Something like
couple
that.
of states in
Yeah.
2022. So it is a thing.
Hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
but
So that's why
Louis
I
feels.
relished in him killing this
Oh
guy.
yeah, I was fine with
Not only
it. I
because
was
it
fine
like
with
it,
it.
it helped him his self,
He
you know,
ate.
his self
He got his
actualization.
iron supply up.
He
Yes.
ate right. He got it all out. He got to kill the guy that was fucking him over. Like it
Yeah.
was a lot wrapped up into this kill. I was for
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Me too. Me
Fuck that
too.
guy. Yeah.
Um. And yeah, absolutely fuck that guy. And so from there, though, like a bad hangover where you're like, I'm never gonna drink again. And
I
he's
like how
talking to like,
he even compared himself in that when he's like running the streets, like after he killed,
yeah, I'm
or
willing to
after
help the
when the
people.
Ryan, yeah, and he like I think he even compared himself to like a child that just he said something like a child that just like broke a bird's wings and asked why it doesn't fly
Mm,
or some shit like that. But
yeah.
he knows that he was impulsive and maybe shouldn't have done this.
Shout out to
But
Lestat again, not
here we are.
stopping him. Oh wait, I forgot to mention. Did he break up with Lestat? Because he was like, "This ain't gonna work." I was like, "Motherfucker, if you don't sit,
If you don't sit your ass down.
like, what's not gonna work?" I was like, "That's how." I'm like, "Did you just break up with Lestat? Do you think that's what you just did?
Wait,
Is that
when?
what?" No, like before he runs out, he was like, "This is why, like, we won't work, or we could never work, or like we're two different people." Did you
Mm,
erase that from your mind?
I
Because
feel
I
like I
almost
did.
did. Yeah, and that's when he
I feel
runs
like I
out
blocked.
into the street to like
Mhm.
save people. Eh, Even though people don't, he literally grabs someone like, "Let me help you," and they're like, "No,
I'm
no,
good. Thanks.
yeah, no one wants your help, Louis. Go home."
I love how over Louis you are. Like you're over it.
Like,
It's episode 3, bro.
they're like, oh man, because it's like Daniel's right. Like, there's a lot of inconsistencies in your
Right.
story, motherfucker. Okay, so which one is it?
So funny.
But yeah, no, he broke up with Lestat, and I was like, that's cute that you
Mhm.
think he broke up with Lestat.
That was just like, oh, that's just Louis being Louis.
I'll see you in the morning. Like, where are you living?
Right.
Where's your
Right.
coffin? Did you take your coffin with you? How does that work? Because I'm pretty sure you need your coffin.
How does that work?
You have a spare house with a coffin?
Right. Where are you gonna
This
sleep?
is why I'm over Louis. This is why, because he is impulsive. Because Louis is
Yes,
motherfucking
absolutely.
impulsive. Anyway, I love
Fuck
them.
Mo,
I
you
love
make me
them. They're
laugh.
my
I
favorite.
love them so much.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt with like a heart,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah. I
love
love them.
it. Oh, but yeah, no, he runs out. He's gonna go help people, because he's Louis. And let me see. Let me see. I've got notes here. Oh, see, I still have half a paragraph. Okay, so what did I miss here? And they burned down the city. Louis
Mm-hmm.
says he did this for his people, and Lestat is, sure you did, my guy. Sure you did. Your people.
Right, because he's like, "Oh, I see what you're doing to your people or for your
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
This
You're so
isn't.
good
Is
then.
this what you had in mind, babe?" Right.
And like, no, obviously not.
No, whatever,
But
Lestat.
look, but Lestat is like, but you enjoyed that shit, motherfucker. Don't act like you didn't,
Yeah.
you know? And what he said something about like this should be their anniversary.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh my God, you're finally coming into your own. You're a vampire. I'm so proud of you. This should be our anniversary." He's like, "The fuck out of here with with this should be our
Oh, so
anniversary."
you know that means they have anniversary dinners, and now I need to see that.
I just love how romantic Lestat is.
I
Like, this is our
know.
anniversary, babe.
You know he gives the best gifts. You know he gives.
Oh
He
my
thinks
God.
about his gifts.
He does. And he's been
Neil
around for a while.
Lestat in
And
a
he's a very
relationship.
creative guy. So
Yes. Yes.
I love, wow, Team Lestat
Look.
over here.
Me too. Me too. So sweet. This is why we
So cute.
podcasted 7 seasons of the 100 because we have issues. I think that's pretty clear. If you don't know, let's go listen to the 100. This
Oh
will
my
all
God, that
make
was so much
sense.
fun.
Oh, it
So
was.
much
It
fun.
was. Okay, yeah. So I wrote here, yes, and Louise says, and this is why they won't work. And I said breaks up question mark because I was like, that don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Louis
Mm-hmm.
runs through the street looking to help. He feels responsible. He see his first shop, I guess, burn, like the shop we're introduced to him. And he
Yeah.
runs in there because he's like, I gotta save Claudia, his light and redemption. And I'm like, who the fuck is Claudia? Like in this concept, we've never met Claudia. So how is she your
No.
light and redemption?
Well, we're gonna see next episode, I'm sure.
I mean, I remember Interview with the Vampire, so I know Claudia ain't nobody's light and redemption. I might not remember the exact specifics of
I
that movie.
it's
But
I was
Claudia.
watching I watched this whole series with my best friend who loves Interview with the Vampire, the Brad
Oh,
Pitt, Tom Cruise one. So when at the end of this episode he breaks into the room and he's like, my redemption, my whatever, and it's a little girl, she lost her shit. She was just kind of like, it's Claudia. Oh my
yeah.
God,
No, that
finally.
bitch cray. You think
So
Lestat cray.
yeah,
That bitch cray. He's
exactly.
not. Louis is not doing what he thinks he's doing.
I mean, well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll
Okay,
see.
sure, his lettering. Okay. Sure. Let's make a teenager a vampire. Sure.
Right,
Sure.
that's
Because,
definitely
like,
gonna end well.
you as an adult barely have self-control skills, but let's make the baby a
Right. Let's make a
vampire.
teenager who barely has control when
But
human.
again, how many people do I know who have been like, let's have a baby to save our marriage? That's all this is.
That is
That is
exactly what
all this
Louis is
is.
doing. That's exactly what Louis is doing. Oh my
Will it
gosh.
work, guys? Stay tuned. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
whether it
But
works or not
yeah.
is definitely gonna be juicy.
Oof. This
Mm,
is only episode 3.
mm,
I'm
mm,
already way
mm.
too invested, but this is such
You
a
should
fucking
be.
fantastic show. And I
Yes, it
am
is.
gonna go watch episode 4 now that we are done. Because again, I'm taking it week by week because ain't really that much out there right now that I'm loving. And this is like one of the few things. Outside of this, I've just been like listening to like geeky Star Wars podcasts. I know my neighbors are so confused because it's either like Asian shit podcast or like who's fucking.
Oh
Like, it's
wow.
like not like on TV. On TV.
Oh, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
Mo.
I
Yeah.
am not that exciting, please. But this was a fantastic episode, and I've loved talking with you about it. No one
Oh
sent
my
in
God, yeah.
feedback. I'm very disappointed.
Next time.
Again, send your feedback to tvmoviemistress@gmail.com. And I put up a feedback post this week. No one left feedback, so I will do it again for episode 4. But before we wrap up, Carly, what was, I guess, like, did you tell me your favorite scene this episode? Did you?
This my favorite scene this episode. I mean I think it was when Louis finally gave in to his vampiric ways or impulses and killed that guy. For many reasons I was very happy he killed that guy. But I liked everything that kind of led him to it. How everything kept tightening around him in and like the pot was
Yes.
boiling and it boiled over in that scene, and that was great.
This should have been titled Louis' very, 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 very bad day.
Right, right,
That's all
right.
it was. That's all it
Oh,
was.
but no, but I
Um,
I fucking love this show, and like I said, every episode I am so impressed by the quality of the show, but also the quality of the work itself, and how it's like keeping us still hooked and entertained and like wanting more, and the
yes.
episodes don't feel long enough, or they don't come
Never.
fast enough or whatever. So like I'm loving the show.
Me
And obviously,
too.
I love all the gay shit. And I
Oh,
had this
that's
show
my
premiered
favorite
in
part.
October.
Oh,
This year premiered in October, and I was so happy about it because, like, in
God.
August, I had watched A League of Their Own, which also was very like
Yes,
unapologetically
you
gay.
were in that life
It was
for a
so good,
second.
but the show itself was
I don't
really
like
good. But I
baseball
love
like
how
that, so
like,
like, yeah.
but
Give
I
me a
love how like
badminton like version. I'm there.
unapolog- unapologetically gay it was. And then so I
Yes,
was done with that show, and then right afterwards it was Interview with the
yes.
Vampire, and I was just kind of like, oh my god, TV is getting so good, and the
Oh, I love
representation
it.
feels great. So it's like I'm loving
Uh,
everything about
love it. Love
TV
it.
right
It's
now,
just
but the
nice
show
to
is
just
the best.
watch gay shit and no one's dying.
Yes.
Well, other than like murderer wise, but like it's not like again. Brokeback Mountain's a great movie. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I'm not coming out traumatized. I just want to watch some cute, fantastical shit and
Yes.
not give a fuck about like real world bigots in it. Like the bigots
Right.
die. It's
Yeah,
like
it's nice
that's
to
the win.
see. Absolutely, it's nice to see queer people just exist and
Yes.
be and
Not
live
have to like, oh,
the
did
way we
you
do, and
know
it's
that
great.
person's gonna come and take your rights? Like, I mean,
Right.
I mean, it's all worked in there, obviously, because that
Hmm.
is very much so a question, even with his
Yeah.
mother's religious nonsense. But it's
Yeah.
done in a way that does not feel trauma or traumatic.
Yes. Right.
But
It feels very almost like true to life. Not that sometimes life isn't traumatic because of all those things, racism, sexism, homophobia, and all that stuff.
absolutely, yeah,
But like I'm finding now that shows, for example, like Interview with the Vampire and A League of Their Own, that like we're now being shown as like full
people,
people existing, and not just
yeah,
existing to be traumatized. You know what I mean?
yes,
So
yes,
yes, bad things happen, or we are there are slurs, or there are uh whatever things that
injustices,
have
mortgage
injustices that
rates,
happen,
indifferences,
and
like
all that stuff
staging
that
your
happens,
home
but like,
because it needs to look white to sell well. There's all
right,
of that shit.
all that shit still exists, but it's not in a way that like that is so traumatic that we can't,
Yes.
that some there was a time that
Well,
I just
yeah,
didn't want to watch things because it's just kind of
yes,
like, why is this
yeah,
like
and
trauma
I'll
porn?
still watch like traumatic shit, but I just need
Yeah,
that to not be the only option.
exactly. And
You
it's
know,
the variety. So
yeah, like
I'm
I
loving it.
laugh a fuck ton. My life has been traumatic as fuck. But
Right.
I am very much of the opinion that life is crazy. It's even more reason to find a reason to laugh, or like
Yes.
the world
Have
is
that
shit.
balance.
Check. Figure out a way to just not let you feel like shit. I don't know. My
Hmm.
philosophy's not there, but you get what I'm
No,
saying.
we
Like
get it.
you get what I'm saying,
Absolutely.
Carly. Yeah. You
Yes.
just
Yes.
like like we lived through a fucking pandemic. We lived through a plague.
Yo, the
And
other
we
day I was just
still
kind of
like
like, yo,
popped
we
off them
lived through
Twitter
that shit.
memes. Yes.
Right.
Like
Some
we
dumb
still
shit.
got
Yeah.
those jokes out here.
Yeah. And that's the way to survive, all of
Yeah,
this. But all in all,
absolutely.
about Interview with the Vampire, like it's a fucking just fantastic, amazing show.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
cheers to
Yes.
everybody. um it's sad that like Anne Rice didn't get to see it. I think she
Mm.
was working with the production and died before like they finished it,
Uh,
so that sucks. But I'm glad that like it, like, she kind of gave it the stamp of approval, so I appreciate that.
that's good. And it's also I also am also enjoying like hearing people be like there's so much like men or just anybody really. It doesn't let me not slander men completely.
Yeah.
Just 95%. but they're being like, there's so much gay shit. There wasn't this much gay shit in the book. I'm like, do you know what subtext is? Like, it's fucking
Right.
vampires. Like, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Like, fill in the blanks.
I think, yeah, and I think the people that said that weren't, yeah, they weren't reading the book right. Because
They
I
weren't
know
reading
that
it
like
right.
I know some hardcore like book fans that were just kind of like, oh my god, finally, like the homoerotic, aspect
It's
of
just
it, all
out.
the gay stuff, their
Yeah.
relationship, like it's finally being portrayed properly
Yes.
on screen.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
And
so
that's how subtext works.
that's how it works, you guys.
That's especially in times where just saying it out loud would get you
Right. You
stoned
need
as a witch.
absolutely.
Well,
Yes, you
not
need
Anne
that
Rice, but
coded.
before maybe Anne Rice. I don't fucking know. Then they used to have like 1,000 moms against Satan or whatever
Oh
dumb
my
shit. Yeah,
goes.
I don't know.
There's always some sort of parent league or something trying to
It's like
suppress
and
something.
burn books. Yeah, that's their jam. But okay,
Burning
so
books, yeah.
let's not give a fuck about those witches. Not the anyway. Any final thoughts? Is that it? I keep interrupting. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No. No, this show is great. And if you're not watching
Oh,
it and you're just listening, you should watch it.
you should
You should
absolutely
definitely
watch
watch it.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
If
Um,
anything, just to look at those two beautiful gentlemen.
talented gentlemen. I can't wait. I
Talented.
can't wait. Can't wait.
Talented. Yeah.
In all the ways.
Thank you for having
Delicious.
me, Mo. Ooh.
Oh, thank you for
I
coming
want to
on. I'm
come
sure
back.
you'll be. Oh, I mean, that was about to say. I'm sure you'll be back on, and I
Yeah.
would love to have you back on. And
Awesome.
hopefully, next time you're here, my listeners will send in feedback, and not embarrass me. Yes, I'm
Oh
disappointed in you,
no.
like Lestat was disappointed in Louis shenanigans.
Wow.
Lestat was
Wow,
like
you guys. I
2023.
feel like, yeah, they need to. You
I
guys need
feel
to
like I'm
make
gonna
up to me.
regret this the support of Lestat in 3 episodes, but for now I'm here. But tell the good folks out there where they can find you. Tell them about your amazing podcast and where they can come also listen to you talk about great shows.
We're on hiatus right now, though we have one more episode of Talking Shondaland, which is talking about Grey's Anatomy and Station 19 and Bridgerton, which Mo did last year's episode for season 2.
I can't wait for it to come back.
With us, and I can't wait for it to come back. If you want to come back to talk
Oh,
season
I'm
3, I'd love
absolutely.
it.
You guys let me just drone on. Sorry, but yes, I cannot wait.
I loved it, and it was so much fun talking with you, Bridgerton. So that's Talking Shondaland, Talking Shonda on Twitter, Talking Shondaland on Instagram, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And I'm bringing back my original podcast. It's coming back after a 6-year hiatus. Cynthia and
Which
I are
one?
bringing back That Pop This Life.
Okay,
And
okay.
yeah, so we're working on that, and it's just kind of like a pop culture life, and we're gonna talk to some interesting women about just like life shit, and and love and sex and kids
I
and
love it.
funny
I
shit
love it.
online, whatever. So
I
that's
love
gonna
it.
come back, and that's That Pop This Life on Instagram. Follow us there.
Okay. I can't wait to listen. I cannot wait.
Thank you.
So you guys out there can find me as always, Twitter BookDreamer01, TV Movie Mistress on all the social platforms. Come join the Facebook group. Link is in the show notes. Support Patreon, where you will have access to exclusive videos and podcast episodes that are not on the free feed, even though there's like 700 goddamn episodes on the free feed. There's other stuff on the Patreon where you can support for as little as I think $2 a month, because god damn it, I am worth it and I know my value. So support your girl. But yeah, that's it for this week. I'll be back next episode 4, which is titled, let me peek. Slow ass. The Ruthless Pursuit of Blood with I'm sorry, I can't even finish it. The Ruthless Pursuit of Blood with all a child's demanding. Oh, I already knew it.
Oh,
That's
it
a
is
bad
so
idea.
good.
Yeah, let's have a vampire teenager. I love it. I can't wait.
I know. I'm
Okay,
coming on.
guys.
I'm inviting
Okay.
myself on to talk
Okay.
episode 4.
Okay, done and done. We'll be back episode 4 to talk with you guys. I cannot wait. Bye, guys.
Yay. Bye.